Okay, hello. So I'm trying something here. A couple of days ago I tried, but I had to log off all of a sudden. Um, so I have some updates about my work with the different platforms. So I'm trying to diversify a little bit. So I finally decided to create an Instagram account and a link tree where you have all my links. So YouTube, X, Reddit, Maven, and of course Instagram. And also, I created a newsletter, which is called the Arctic as well. So on the platform Beehive, but you can find the link on X, on the link tree, pretty much everywhere on my socials. So the idea of this newsletter is to talk about my activity, my research, my services, my products, everything else. But I'm still trying to find a way to balance every topic and I want to make clear what I want to communicate. I mean, it's kind of complicated at the moment with the newsletter, to be honest with you, but I think I want to balance between information, education, and a bit of you know for offering my services products, but it will come later, I suppose. For now, the most important thing is to talk about interesting topics that I think are relevant today and that are that need to be discussed, especially in terms of multilingualism and so on. So it's still, as you can see, a chaos. It's still a mess, and that's why the title there is Primordial Soup Chaos, or the birth of a newsletter. So here it goes. Just start reading. Witness chaotic birth and stay to see it evolve epigenetically. Get an insight into the intersection of multilingual agency and open-endedness. Mm. There is something I have learned during the last 2 months is that solving a Rubik's Cube is really difficult, but little by little you get better at it. Or rather, you start to understand your way around the cube, regardless of your results. I still haven't solved mine, just as I haven't figured out how I will continue with this newsletter. However, I am very excited about it. Why? Because writing helped me understand that I didn't want to be a translator for a company, nor a language teacher in a classroom full time, despite the fact that I enjoy both activities. At some point, I realized that I was doing a lot of crazy stuff with the languages I learned, English and French. And even if I was already aware of the role in my life, I hadn't until now taken the time to reflect on the notion of my own multilingual agency, aka my own capacity for action through different languages. Not seeing this, but also not understanding that languages were the gateway to a lot of information and ideas that occupy my mind today was dragging me down and nerving my desires for creation. I failed, and I failed a lot, but I won't talk about that, at least not today. For now, I rejoice because I took a step forward and I did it conscientiously. I sat, or rather walked, with my thoughts and observed how we are on the brink of something fundamentally new. Not only because of AI, but because we are living through a cognitive revolution like we have never seen before, and it's only getting started. This and many other personal and societal facts led me to a deep reflection on how to tackle my own work. Actions, will, intention, everything pointed to the concept of agency on different levels, from the surface exposed to the outer world to the depths of my thoughts. Taking action for my project is something rather obvious, you might think. In my case, I understood that I shall view myself as a multilingual human agent. If you follow the news, you probably know that by the time this newsletter is being written, November 2024, millions of AI agents are about to be deployed by the tech lords. Artificial autonomous agency is not a laughing matter, and I believe it will have its consequences on the way we interact as a species. It is not a matter of emotion, empathy, or even comprehension. The truth is that humanity is entering an era where machines can talk back and reason with human language, and this needs to be followed closely. So, how are languages going to evolve? What are the hybrid dialogues between men and machines going to look like? Writing, reading, learning. How are we going to ensure that our basic human functions make progress in accordance with our nature and our potential? What are we going to do to transition properly to a world without phones, or at least with reduced screen time? How can we make the best out of intercultural discourse and practices? What is the future of social media? How can we make sure that our voice is heard and that our creations are treated properly in different languages? As you can see, this primordial soup is boiling with tons of questions. As this news cycle grows, I will be talking about these topics and hopefully explaining with more clarity what I want to achieve. For now, have in mind that the world is changing in exponentials. The entire planet is getting more and more interconnected through the internet, and human magnifying glasses are required in order to keep track of multilingual practices and the discoveries they might help advance. It doesn't hurt to think about outside the box either. So thank you for reading and see you next time. And then in the end, I say that I explore multilingual human agency through my socials and so on. Okay, that was my newsletter, the first edition of my newsletter. As you can see, it's a bit foggy. It's still. I mean, when you read it, I am aware that it is not entirely clear what it is about. But you can see that I talk a little bit about my philosophy of work, what the kind of topics I want to explore, and the things I'm interested in. But I suppose that for a second edition, I would try to explain this a bit further before jumping into a specific topic. So that's the newsletter. Yes, I already talked about the Instagram thing. Starting to post some carousels about the work I do, the kind of services I provide, and so on. And yeah, perhaps I'll post some, some things. I have to get used to that platform. I have never used Instagram socially, professionally. I mean, it's all new to me, but I suppose that's the right way to do things nowadays, right? So that's why I'm here. I'm active on X as well, participating in some threads here and there, and trying to post some thoughts sometimes. What else do I have to say? Instagram and the Linktree, different platforms. Yes, I think that's it. I read the newsletter. Subscribe to the newsletter if you want to read more about my work and the things I want to do in the near future. I suppose that I'm focused mainly on the multilingual agency thing, but I also want to talk about the multilingual agent part, which is the pedagogical part for language learning, metacognition, and so on. So I will be talking about that later on Instagram and, of course, YouTube and platforms. So, yes, that's it for now. I will end the stream here, and hopefully, I get to record this stream as a video. I'll see because I'm still getting used to it too. So, see you later. Bye bye.